Just another second. I know it's the end of the day. People are getting off of work or leaving their workplace wherever they are in their house. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add mistake. Perfect. Alrighty, there she
Hey,
is. Okay, we'll
hey.
go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Tricia Sitamire of triciasitamire.com. Is there echo? Can you hear me? I don't know where the echo is. Anywho, my name is Tricia Sitamire of triciasitamire.com. I am your career consultant and fulfillment coach. I have a personal development company called Control Alt Delete, which stands for Take Control of Your Future, Alter Your Mindset, and Delete All Doubt. So I cover a personal development topic every month, and the topic for the month of November is planning. So few oftentimes do things just organically come together. Sometimes they do, but a lot of the times they don't. And in order to make sure things are progressing in the right way, it takes a little bit of planning. So one of the things that I shared earlier in the week was just around how your environment and where you kind of spend a lot of your time can impact your ability to stay organized and to plan. And so enter Day. I know Day from way, way back. And she is one of the best home organizers that I know. We reconnected a while back with another company that I had, which was home cleaning and organization. And I have just been waiting for an opportunity to have Day come chat about organization because we are still in the same space. So she's organizing homes, I'm organizing lives. So I'm excited to have you here, Day. If you can just share a little bit about you, a little bit about your business, and then we'll just have a conversation. I had asked for people who had questions to send me questions throughout the day. So I have a couple of those. I'll make sure that we address those. And then, of course, if you are on the live, if you have any questions, then now's the time to get your life in order while we have the expert. So, Day, thank you so much again for joining me. If you can just give them an introduction and we'll get started.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
I'm like a newbie to live too, trying to figure this thing out. It's not my realm, right? But thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be joining you today. So my name is Dai Smith. I'm owner and founder of Simplicity by Day. I'm a certified professional home organizer, and I help the working parents, the busy professionals, the entrepreneurs like Tricia and myself get organized in their homes, from your pantries to your closets to your bedrooms. Organization is so important for those busy professionals because it just makes a world of difference having things in order, and just being able to find things, not overbuy things. Having a little structure in your home goes a long way. So I help families do that.
Nice. Yes. I think everybody can use a little extra organization. I am a stickler for planning and keeping things organized down to like everything in the kitchen has a label, everything in the closet has a label. So I'm hip to it, Day. I think I know what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll just ask a couple questions. So in terms of keeping your house organized, if your house is currently disorganized, how do you get started? Like, what are some of the first things that you should do to revamp your space?
Great question. So when I'm working with clients, I think the first thing we do, I always implement the same process, no matter if we're doing your closet or your kitchen. It's a simple card process, and the process consists of 4 steps, and they work for any room. Okay, so the first thing you do is you identify which space you want to work with. Obviously, I always tell people what space is going to make the most difference in your home. A lot of times it's the kitchen, so everybody uses the kitchen, or their master closet, because that's where you go to get all your things for work and to start your day. You choose that room, and then you follow this process. The first thing you do is you clear out everything in that space. Take everything out so you can see what you're working with and really look at it. And then the next thing you do, you really assess like, okay, what's in here? And you categorize things. You put it into piles. You put the things you want to keep, the things you want to donate, the things you need to throw away, the things that don't belong there that need to go in some other room, you know, like your kids' toys that don't belong in your office, they need to go somewhere else, okay? You assess everything and you categorize it. And then the fun part, you start shopping. A lot of times people want to shop first, okay? You don't do that, right?
Guilty.
It's just
Guilty.
the fun part, right? That's the third step. You want to wait to see what you're going to use the space for. Maybe your linen closet should be a place where you keep your kids' toys. You know, maybe your office should also be a craft room. So you want to make sure you know what you're doing first. Then you shop or you create organizational systems, shelving units, things like that. And then you install. So that's the last phase. So every room, that's what the process I use. So that's how you would start. Clear out, assess, repurpose or redesign, which includes shopping, and then decorganize, which is organizing with decor in mind. Okay. So that's the process.
Okay, good deal. What would you say as far as how staying organized or putting some of these organizational systems in place, how does it keep your house running smoothly?
I am a firm believer that physical clutter affects your mental clutter as well. And, you know, if you're the mom, the working professional, the wife in the home, you know, you being able to have that mental clutter that problem solved, because you're addressing your physical clutter, that impacts everything in the home. You know, that impacts everything, the way you feel about your home. Because think about it, you know, a lot of times we're spending more time at home right now because of COVID. And so you're staring at your mess, you're staring at your clutter, you're trying to figure out how you can reorganize things in your home. And so it makes a world of difference to really spend time figuring out the flow, the structure, what your family needs, what you don't need. And it impacts everything in your home. It impacts so many things, even beyond just your physical clutter, but again, your mental clutter as well. So did I answer that question for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
So like I said, I had a couple people send in some questions beforehand, so I want to make sure that we get those answered.
Okay.
So one of the things, and I know this used to be me when I lived in a much smaller space, was I had so much stuff, and maybe that's because I didn't get rid of stuff before I was like trying to shove everything into a smaller space. But what would you say are some tips for organizing small spaces? Like small houses, small apartments, smaller closets.
Yeah, I just had a client and we were working through this issue because she has great style, but she lives in a smaller home. So I would say two things if that's you. You hit the nail on the head with the first one I was going to say about we kind of suffer from stuffication. We have too much stuff. I know it's hard. We use 20% of our items in our home 80% of the time. So that means 80% of the things we have in our home, we really don't use them that much.
Okay.
So what you want to do is figure out what's the 20% that you have to have, and is there room to get rid of things to really complement your home. Even if you have a big home, that's a great thing to do, really decluttering. And then the second thing I would say, really leverage your vertical space. A lot of times I'll see people putting things in places and not using their vertical space, like having your shelving units higher, using your closet space at the top. Finding ways to leverage your vertical space in your cabinets, on your walls, to be able to maximize the space you have. You can probably create more space if you use your vertical space a little bit more efficiently in ways that you may not think that you could. So that would be the two things I would say for a smaller home.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I guess this question is more so for me. But the question was, how do I stay organized while looking for a job? So you mentioned something that I work with a lot with my clients, which is mental clutter. And a lot of the times that is connected to like mindset and outlook. Like, how do you train the mind in that space? And so for a job search specifically, because the way that often works is you're applying for a lot of jobs, a lot of the job descriptions are melding together, or you go to email someone who you think has emailed you and it's like, oh, that's the wrong name. I get that all the time. People are like, hey, so and so, and I'm like, that's not me, I cannot help you. But yes, keeping a note of everything. So if you're applying for different jobs, keep a running list, and that can be done in like Excel. Keeping a list of contacts, your coordinators when you get into the actual interviewing piece of things, who you might need to follow up with. So making sure you keep all of that information in one place so that it's ready and available for you to reference when you need it as you're moving through the interview process or your job search process. Another thing to keep in mind is if you see a job description that you're interested in, yes, you can create a bookmark or save the link, but sometimes what can happen is as the companies or the hiring managers are going through the interview process, they may tweak or change things in the job description, because the job description is really just an advertisement, and so the company can change some of those things. So you might apply for something well in advance and then get ready to get into the interview process, go to click on that link, and you're like, where's the stuff that was on here the first time I came to look at this? This is completely changed. So if you can copy and paste the job description and keep it somewhere, and then obviously if the job posting is still up when you get ready to interview, going back and referencing, seeing where there may be any differences, and then making sure that you have talking points to cover all of those. So I can talk on and on and on and on and on about how to organize your job search and make it so that it isn't so overwhelming, because searching for a job in itself can be a bit of an undertaking. But I can share some more information in that space, or if you have specific questions around your job search, then you guys can shoot me a note or get on my website, triciademaria.com. I'm happy to help in that space. The next question, how do you plan to stay organized? So if I'm looking at that the right way, I guess it would be like staying organized is in two parts. So it's the actual execution piece. Like, okay, I've decluttered, everything is looking good. I'm using my vertical spaces.
Yeah.
It's delightful. So what are maybe some things that you can do to plan to stay organized? Because like as you're using different things, things are moving around. I think you mentioned the kitchen, you go through things, you have to replenish, and it's not a one-stop shop. It is something that you have to do continuously, right?
Yes. You definitely need to be intentional when you're organizing. And I always compare organizing to like working out. You're building a organizational muscle. It's not natural for some people. You're organized, I'm organized, but a lot of people, they just aren't. It's not a natural thing. So it's going to take practice. You're like building that muscle. You start to know, what your pantry should look like, how you should shop, how much of something you should buy, when you should use it. So you start to like build a habit for how you're functioning in your space, and that is how you maintain organization. It's a consistent, intentional thing that, like working out, you're building a muscle, so eventually you will become that organized person or know how to function as an organized person. I would also say that you have to use technology, use tools. I know someone mentioned OneNote, but use tools to keep you organized. So my clients, I would say, set a 21-day reminder. If we're doing your pantry, 21 days, let's check in. How is it going? What is not working? Do we need, Amazon, if we order from Amazon, we can return and replace things, right? That's not the right tool for me and my family. My kids can't reach it. My husband doesn't like it, etc. I would say do check-ins for yourself and for your family so you can adjust until that muscle is strong and you know exactly what you need and what you should do. So that's the advice I would give for starting and staying, because that's huge. You don't want to put in all that time and then it looks a mess in 2 months. Right. Like, why?
Right. Okay, so someone asked, Taylor, hi Taylor, what is your go-to store to get your items to decorganize?
Oh, I like to use decorganize.
I know. I like the verbiage.
No one knows what that word is.
Some of the language going in here.
You get it. Okay. Well, I mentioned Amazon because they do have a ton of products. and it's, you know, prime delivery. It'll come to your house, easy returns. Container Store, of course, is like the standard for organizing. They always have the little things that you're looking for that you wouldn't think of, and because they're the experts. And I do, if I need something specific, I'm like, I know they'll have it, and they do. You can even try your home stores. Like At Home has a great organizational, several aisles really, of many different things, a whole wall of baskets to use. And then some of your furniture stores like Wayfair and Joss and Main, they have some pieces too. And because she mentioned Decorganize, I also help with interior design, so I'll use those stores to kind of implement some of the design elements that people want in their homes when we're organizing, like the type of baskets they want, or the type of liners, things like that. So those would be my top 4 stores: Amazon, Container Store, and then those At Home and online home decor stores.
Okay. I know for some of the stuff in my office, I got a lot of stuff from Dollar Tree. It was mad cheap, and like they have different baskets, they have different things. You know, once you kind of figure out, like you said, what you need, and then you shop. You need to go in there and be like, okay, this is exactly what I need. And I mean, you could spend $20 and feel like, you know, you bought a bunch of stuff. So yeah, that's one place that I found some good stuff from there. I would also say like Walmart or Target, just throwing out some extra examples. Let's see, Miss MJ. Hi, MJ. How do you get your family on board with staying organized?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have little kids. I have toddlers. And so, you know, it's a struggle. I think I tell families, when you're starting the organizational process, include them from the beginning. Like, ask them what they think about something, what kind of snacks do you want to go in this basket, so they have some skin in the game and they feel like this is our family's organizational project. And your kids are going to follow your lead if you prioritize organizing. Like, you come in the house with your groceries and you are putting them in and you're prioritizing it, they're going to see that and know that that's an important thing that mommy or daddy is doing. Your spouse is the same way. You know,
please tell us about the spouse.
I've seen the husband help us. Do we really need this? This is too much. I don't need to, you know, pay for that. I can do it myself. And then when it's all said and done, they are the biggest supporters. They're like, oh, I see now. I get it. You know, I would include them as well. Anytime I'm on the phone with doing a consult, I'm like, what does Mr. think? What does he need? What does he want? Because I want them to be included. So include them in the beginning is key. And then once they see the results, so they see your passion, your prioritizing of that space, they'll get on board usually. Yeah.
I like it. I have a conversation with Mr. Sitamere and see if he has any suggestions or recommendations, because I definitely did steamroll him out of the process, but it's from a loving place.
Don't do it.
All right. Let's see. What other like little tips and tricks would you recommend for staying organized? So I know, like, with my coaching clients, when we're talking about like finding clarity and like just getting things started, I use like a lot of lists, and you would be surprised how like using your calendar or keeping your goals in sight, how just doing some of those small things on the front end up making a huge difference. So what are 3 seemingly like little tiny things that make a huge difference?
Good question. These quick wins, you know, that's what I like to call them. I would say the rule of 15. Okay. I like to set a timer for 15 minutes daily or weekly or monthly, and spend that 15 minutes organizing something, or spend that 15 minutes planning for something, because I know this is planning month for you. For example, 15 minutes clearing off your desk because you have papers and stuff everywhere, files that you printed off, you know, things. When you check the mail, you got envelopes everywhere. 15 minutes organizing that. What should go in the file? What should go in the trash? What should go in the shredder? What should go somewhere else? You'd be surprised how much you can get done in 15 minutes. So always apply the rule of 15 daily if you can. If not, definitely do it weekly.
Okay.
And you mentioned to-do list. I'm a huge fan, obviously, of to-do list and planning. I use a specific type of list where I prioritize urgent needs and important needs.
Okay.
Urgent and non-urgent, important and unimportant. That'll help me prioritize the things that I need to do, the things I need to delegate, the things that are due today, and the things that I would like to do, but if they don't get done today, this week, it's okay.
Right.
So that would be another thing. Find a to-do list method, like you said, that works for you for planning purposes. And then last but not least, I would say no shame in asking for help. That can be a simple task. That can be, like you said, a quick win. Asking for help. If you are struggling with finding out your career path, you have someone right here giving you the goods, right? Tricia, yes. If you need to get organized, me or whoever in your area, reach out to them. If you need someone to help you with, meal prep, or you would need to do a pickup for your groceries, or someone to help you clean your home or keep your kids, like, just don't feel like you have to do this alone with organizing and with planning and just making it through this difficult time that we're all in. No shame in asking for help. So that would be my third thing that I think we all need to embrace right now.
Good. Yeah, those are really good. I think there was one other question.
Okay.
How often do you declutter? I find myself getting rid of things about once a month. I'm the opposite of a hoarder. I get anxiety about things piling up.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, I like once a month. I think that is the mood in this home. I keep a basket in my office that's covered and closed. You don't know what's in it, for Goodwill. Okay. For things that my kids growing out of, because it happens frequently, for toys, things, that I need to get rid of. I keep that box. I may not take it once a month, but we do declutter often. Quarterly is a healthy timeline, because you may not have so much going on where you have to declutter as much, especially if you don't have, a lot of people in your home. Quarterly is great, and absolutely annually. Do the spring cleaning, okay? Do that annually. That is the minimum. You've had a whole year to wear all those clothes. If you didn't wear them, you've had a whole year to use that whatever product. Yeah. If you haven't used it, it needs to go. That's what I tell people. So monthly is amazing. Quarterly is probably average, and annually is a must. That's what I say. Yeah.
Those are some good recommendations. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any questions. Somebody said, let me get my husband on this live.
Bring them, girl. They got to be in it.
This is a safe space. Okay, very good. Well, I think that is most of our questions. I know this was just supposed to be a shorter conversation for you to give us an overview. I think you've shared some really good little tips. A little bit really can go the longest way. Like planners, calendaring. I may have something in the works that might help you with some of that. And then Day, like she said, don't be afraid to reach out for help. There are so many different ways and tools to help us be successful in the places that we want to be successful. So why not? And not all of those have, some type of fee associated. And so, I'm a big believer of making your life easier in ways where you can and where it makes sense. Work smarter, work more efficiently, because everybody gets busy. Everybody has a ton of stuff going on all the time. And so if you can implement some of those things to help you be organized and to have a plan, one, you're able to bounce back or address some of those things that pop up, because there's always the things that pop up, the surprises, the twists and turns, and all of the other things that are always vying for your attention. But you feel a lot better. I know specifically for me and for many of my clients, when they are organized and taking an organized approach, you just have this certain type of clarity. You feel a little less, under pressure, like you're, short on time or under the gun. Things like that can make a world of difference. So don't be bashful about reaching out and getting a little bit of help. Day, if they would like to get more information, because it looks like you've shared some gems. There's been some really good questions, and they might want to follow up with you. I know that you're offering things in home, well, not right now, but a lot of the stuff that you're doing virtually. So maybe
Yes.
share a little bit of that if anyone needs to connect.
Yes, yes. So you can follow me on all the social sites at Simplicity by Day. It's spelled DAY. I also have my website, simplicitybyday.com. You can sign up to be a part of Simplicity community, where I do share updates and tips and tricks like I did today regularly. And I also have, for those who want to work one-on-one, you can sign up for a complimentary consultation, like a discovery call, just to see how we can work together on the website as well, or message me on the social sites. And I actually am just launching a beta course for those who may want to organize, but they want to be hands-on and do the DIY approach. They want to do it themselves, but they just need a little bit of help. This course is kind of for that type of person.
Okay.
And it's a beta course that's offered. That information is also online at simplicitybyday.com. So that'll be something that you guys can take advantage of. But follow me, shoot me a question if you have anything specific to follow up on this live, and I'd be happy to engage with you and help you out. So thank y'all. Great questions.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And if you are looking to dive into your planning and staying organized for 2021, I will be sharing some more information about my planner and journal to make sure that you are all set up for success for 2021. So I appreciate all of you guys for joining and engaging. I think you guys asked some really great questions. And I think you guys are armed and dangerous now with some quick things to get the ball rolling. Like, the biggest thing is to just get started. It's a process, it's a journey, and you'll find your niche, you'll find your groove as you continue to get deeper into your organizational journey. So I appreciate all of you guys for joining. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or emotional outbursts, you guys know where to find me, triciasdemaria.com, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Onward and upward.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.